What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Something. Hit the keys. Here today to do a quick review and demonstration over the Arturia Astrolab 61. I know this thing been out for a while now. To tell you the truth, I've had it for a year. I can't even hold y'all. I love it. I use it all the time. And I'm gonna show you guys kind of some of the uses that I use it for. You know, I could admit up front, many of you guys know I'm not the greatest keyboard player, so I don't play the keys the greatest, but this keyboard has still been good for me because it's allowed me to do a bunch of stuff with sound design, and I'll kind of explain it through you. I can't really show you because I don't have everything set up, you know, in the studio. Kind of took me a little bit too late to make this video because I never had a table or I didn't have a good place to do the demo, but now I have a good place to do demos, so I'm gonna give you guys all kinds of keyboard demos and stuff like that. So as we take a look here at the Astrolab 61, you'll notice that it looks very nice. Obviously, it looks very premium. It's got on the side, this isn't wood, but it does feel like wood. I feel like the keyboard is probably about 30 pounds. You'll notice you have a bunch of controls here. So obviously you're gonna have your mod wheel and everything over here, which are octaves. You get control over arps and chords, which we'll go over. You get this loop back feature, which is pretty nice. We'll go over that too. We'll go over some of the stuff in the jog wheel, and then we'll go over all these controls, whether it's the instruments or it's the effects. But there is a little bit of control that you can do with this thing. So my first thoughts when I got this was that the keyboard feels really nice. So the keyboard, it's semi-weighted, it's got velocity and aftertouch on it. So it just sounds really nice. Here's some of the sounds in the keyboard. We'll just start right off with this American Grand. So, you know, you're gonna get sounds like that. You're gonna get more different sounds, which is nice. This is actually the piano that I typically use when I use Piano V or Analog Labs, but you're gonna get more sounds as you see here. So it's got stuff that sounds like that. You can go through different instruments here. So bam, I could smack this E piano, and now we're at the E pianos really quickly. And it's really easy. Like when you're scrolling through this, it goes to the next sound pretty quick. And then if I go to the next sound, so you can see in real time how quick it's changing to the next sound. So that's a nice feature about this. In case you didn't know, this thing is ran by Analog Labs. So Analog Labs is Arturia's basically all-inclusive plugin. So it takes sounds from all their synths. If you don't know, Arturia has like 43 different synth emulations, give or take a synth emulation here or two. It's got analog, it's got augmented mallets, augmented piano, a bunch of different augmented stuff, brass and stuff like that. That sounds cool too. So basically what they did was they use like Linux technology in the actual keyboard to be able to run all the sounds for the sounds to be true to what they sounded like in Arturia. With that, with the Arturia, you can go into Analog Labs or the V Collection, and then you can make your preset, and then you can add it in to the keyboard, which is pretty nice. And then you can also use this keyboard as like a MIDI controller. But the thing, as we're looking down at the top, it's not gonna have no faders, it's not gonna have no knobs, it's not gonna have any of that's gonna control. You'll just be able to use the keybed, but the keybed, again, is very nice. This does have USB-C, it's got Bluetooth, and then it's also got Wi-Fi. So with the USB-C, obviously, it allows you to let the computer and your keyboard communicate with each other. So, you know, you can run it in there and then you can use it like as a MIDI or whatever, or you can use it that way when you're going to update it, get your firmware updates and all that other stuff. It's got Wi-Fi too, which allows for you to be able to actually use this as Wi-Fi, and it'll allow you to connect with your computer off of Wi-Fi, which is pretty solid too. And then it's got a Bluetooth feature. And with the Bluetooth feature allows for you to actually play a song through the keyboard, and then you can play along too. So it lets you practice and all that other stuff. So it's got some pretty good features there. Let's talk about the board though a little bit more. So as we're looking here at the board, so we have a sound here. So we have that sound here. As you look, it's going to tell us on here where they actually got that from. So like, let's say I was to go into maybe a lead, blow. And so now you see it's going to give me a Moog. If I go to the next one, I believe that's a DX on the screen. So it's going to give you that 70s synth lead. That's pretty cool. And then you can scroll on and just get to something else. So you can get to something else really easily, really quickly. Let's just go back to the piano for just one second. So now you got other features over here like ARP. So if I hold down ARP, it's going to let me change the arpeggiator. So, you see here, I can click down on it and then it's going to turn it on. All right, but you can change the rate on this bad boy really easily. Boom. So I just click on this and then it's going to allow me just to click through whatever I want to. So once I click down on it, I can scroll. So as you can see how that goes right there, we'll go ahead and we can sync, we can make it go up, we can make it go down. We have control over how we want it to go. And then you also have like octave range too. So we can mess with, how many octaves we want this to go. Let's make it go up an octave. And then you got part selection too. So like, I didn't get here yet, but as you look at the keyboard, some different presets have different parts. So you can break it down into different parts and just play different parts of that patch at different places on the keyboard, which makes that pretty solid too. Let's go back up here. We're gonna go ahead and turn this ARP off for a second. If I can get my life together. Wow. So another thing they got here are chords. So if we hold this on, blah, we can pick the root note of our chord. So let's go ahead. You already know we're gonna go D minor. All right, so we got D minor. I'm about to load that up. All right, and you can pick different kind of scale types too. We're gonna go harmonic minor. And then we have chord types too. So we don't have to just do. We can come over here and what do we want? We want a minor 7. No, we'll just go minor. All right, bam. And you can do the same with the part selection. You can also come down here and with these chords, like I was saying earlier, you have minor ninths. You can go suspended. All right, but what's fire about that too, now let's say we come back over here to ARP and we turn our ARP back on. So I only have to play one key now, you know what I'm saying? So since I've selected the chord, now it'll allow me to use the chord function with the ARP and all that other stuff. Pretty fire. Go to a different sound. All right, so now as we're looking at this, there's different parts to each preset. So now you see right here, I can add another part here if I want to. And then you can come over here and add whatever type that you want. So we can add artists, we can add like presets, we can add types. We'll just add an instrument. And then we'll just come over here and we'll just grab something from the DX. And we'll just grab this female choir. So now you see I have two parts. The other part is a little bit quieter, but you'll see that I have more than multiple parts. So you can do that. It's pretty cool. You can also split the MIDI. So you see how I've split the MIDI. So down here I have the electric piano, and then up here I have the vocals. So that's pretty nice too there. And all, let's go ahead and just hit keys real quick. All right, so now as you're looking, you do get a little bit of control over your effects and your instruments over here. So as we're looking over here at the instruments, you have controls like brightness, you have timbre, you have time, and then you have movement. And so you can also put shift and you can control the bass, the mids, and the trebles with this as well, which is, you know, pretty solid. So now as I'm pushing the keys down, I can change the brightness or the timbre. I can change the timbre. The time and the movement. And then if I push shift, and then I can come over here, and now you see how the lights changed? I can push shift and I can turn up this treble. So let's push it. So you see how you get multi-controls right there with the controls too. Very nice. Over here, you got effects. So you have two effects. Delay and reverb are always going to be there, but you can edit FX-A and FX-B. So you can make them other effects. So like if I push down on this keyboard, now if I push edit, if I hold edit, it's going to allow me to switch. You see how I've got stereo pan, analog phaser, wah, all that stuff. So we'll hit the wah, and then we'll enable that. So you got control over that. We've got delay too that we can mess with. We've also got reverb. Sorry, I know that got a little bit loud, but you got all kinds of instruments. It's really easy to just guide through what you need. So bam, you see as I'm pushing the buttons. Turn some of these effects down. So as you guys can see, it's a pretty good keyboard for anybody that gigs or anybody who's doing anything like that. It's really good for like sound design too, in my personal opinion. And I say that because what I typically do is I'll run either a MIDI from my computer, or I'll run my MIDI from my MIDI keyboard, or just this. And then I'll run this MIDI into my Take 5. And then I'll run my Take 5 through a bunch of like pedals and stuff like that. And then I'll blend them together and I can get these crazy sounds, these super thick presets or these super thick sounds. So it's something really good to use it with too. It's really good to layer with other synthesizers, especially once you start getting into the analog world mixed in with the digital world. It just sounds really good. So what are my final thoughts on the Astrolab 61? I'm gonna be 100% thorough with y'all. I think this is a fire keyboard. Now, if you are interested in something like this because you want to learn to practice, or you want to use it for like sound design, I honestly think something like the 37 that just came out might be better for you if you're somebody like me, because it's still going to have all the great sounds. It's going to have a little bit of different functionality here on the front, but it's still going to have some great sounds that you can use. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that you need to think about. But I would definitely recommend this based off of the sound you get, the key bed that you get, the build quality of this, the fact that you get to link it up with Analog Labs and V Collection, and then you can build your own presets, and now you can use those when you're gigging and stuff like that. Just all the stuff that you can do with this, I think it's fire. Does it have the functionality on deck as something like a Modi X or like a Nord or something else like that? It absolutely does not, but it's not geared up for you to do sound design on the fly. It's geared for you to take it and go and have everything ready to go that you've practiced. So that's what I got for you guys in today's video. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. I appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some, hit the keys.